We are at halftime, and it's great to see everyone here at the Voice of College Football. Appreciate you stopping by for about 15 minutes. As soon as they send toe to leather, as they say, for the second half, we will send you back to the game, of course. But let's talk up the first half. Entertaining first half, really good first half. Michigan had an opportunity there and looked like they had control of this football game at one point. I'm sure Ohio State has a yardage advantage that is somewhat substantial in this one. They've been able to move the ball, especially in the second quarter, more successfully, but also made a big mistake, of course. So let's run through it here. Appreciate you being here. We'll get to your comments and questions. Right out of the gate, Ohio State, big mistake. Emeka Egbuka on a third down play in which ball was right to him. Should have been a converted third down into a first down on the first drive for the Buckeyes. So they went 3 and out. Again, big drop for the Buckeyes. Who knows where that, anytime you have a dropped pass on third down or fourth down, of course, that leads to a punt or a conversion of possession, you never know what would have happened in that drive. So Ohio State wastes a drive right there. And then interesting to note and important, of course, that Ladarius Henderson, who's been missing at left tackle for a few weeks, is back for Michigan. First Michigan drive, Davison Igbinosun had a great stop on the flip out on the left side to Donovan Edwards. The Kyle McCord, Marvin Harrison, they had a miscommunication on a play that stopped a drive, then had the big miscommunication, whether that was Kyle McCord off target or that was Marvin Harrison not getting the break to the football that he needed to beat Will Johnson to the spot. That was the first big break of the game, and the first break that Michigan made for itself, of course, was Will Johnson with the interception that led to the touchdown as Michigan set up at the 6-yard line, and Blake Corum got it to push over, on the fourth down play for the touchdown. Of course, they scored on the fourth down play for the touchdown. I believe Michigan's 3 for 3 on fourth downs against Ohio State. So that was enormous, of course. This could come down to a one-score game, probably will. And Michigan gets the one turnover that was huge in this game. Another missed opportunity for the Buckeyes was Xavier Johnson. I think they really should have looked at that and reviewed the spot on the football where he caught the 3rd and 10 play and he got like 9.9 yards. Looked like he might have gotten the first down. They probably should have reviewed that play leading into that one. JJ's delivered a lot of throws under pressure. The creme de la creme was, of course, the touchdown throw right between two defenders. And Denzel Burke did a heck of a job trying to pry that ball away. And Joel Klatt believes that should have been called an interception. Man, I would have to comb through the rule book letter by letter to determine that, because to the naked eye, to the standard football fan who's been watching football forever, and what that looks like is a touchdown. It looks like catch secured, crossing the goal line, but end zone plays are not supposed to be treated any differently than any other play on the field. And the ball was ripped away before he secured the catch and followed through on the entire play. So I can certainly understand Klatt's perspective and the Ohio State perspective that the ball should have been an interception. And if it comes down to that being the play of the game, wow, that will be controversial. I thought it was too close to call. Once it was ruled on the field, I thought this is not getting overturned in any such way, because that's the way replay is supposed to work. Unless it definitively shows that the call was missed on the field to be overturned. So rightfully, that was not overturned, and Michigan was up 14-3. So, things looked a little shaky for the Buckeyes at that point, but man, they really pulled it together after that because Michigan goes up 14-3. They had the really nice play to Colston Loveland on the fourth down play. And also the A.J. Barner catch over the middle, in which J.J., again, there were about 4 to 5 times that he either stood in the face of a pass rusher right in his face, bearing down on him, or like on the case of the Roman Wilson catch down the right sideline, he bailed, he scrambled, he threw a beautiful ball on the money. So JJ's played a great first half. Kyle McCord played a shaky first quarter, and then he had 2 drives here that were exceptional. So Kyle McCord apparently pulling it together. And Ohio State has to have a significant lead in yardage, but obviously these are all empty yards at the end of the first half because they didn't have enough time to convert. And then they decided, instead of going for the 4th down play to convert, going for that long field goal. That's a questionable call there. I don't believe in setting up your field goal kicker to try to make a kick his longest career kick in that situation. Make his longest career kick in a 25-point lead against Minnesota, to where he can prove that he can make these kind of kicks under these circumstances. So he pulled it and missed it, and Ohio State goes in at 14-10 down. And I couldn't even tell you who really outplayed whom in the first half. Play to play, it sure seemed like Ohio State was the better team in the second quarter. Once they got the ball back at down 14-3, their last 2 drives, they were humming, they were hitting it. And my goodness, well, neither team can run the ball, but especially Michigan. Ohio State's rush defense has just stopped them stone cold. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Chris letting us know that Ryan Day playing conservatively again. Yes, they did. Badass Buckeyes says Buckeyes should be up 13-6. Well, Kyle McCord made a big mistake. So I think you're probably taking away the touchdown from Michigan, which would make it, 10-7, giving Ohio State a field goal. But you can't ask a guy that's never kicked a 50-yard field goal to kick a 51-yard field goal at the big house in the game. So let's not just count that up as Ohio State should be up 13-6. Of course, the Michigan fans are going to point out the questionable calls against Michigan, and the Ohio State fans are going to point out the questionable calls against Ohio State. That's why I'm here, to try to do my best to even it out. Mike says, overall, the game is even. Michigan's had more big plays. I'll put it this way. I don't know that Michigan's had more big plays in terms of yardage. Ohio State's probably had more big gash plays in the passing game. 2 huge ones to Marvin Harrison, of course. One to Cade Stover. Michigan's had more big plays in key situations. Let's say that. That touchdown pass to Wilson was a 3rd and 10? I think that was a 3rd and 10. That's a huge, enormous play to convert on 3rd and 10 in the red zone. I'm impressed with McCord coming back. He really could be down and out for this game. And these last 2 drives, he's been pinpoint. So I got to be impressed with Kyle McCord the last 2 drives. I am just incensed. This is another side issue. Incensed on social media. I just need to stay off there during these games, because there are just so many complete morons on there. More Xavier Johnson runs, yes, and maybe quick passes out into the flat. Dave's here, says the refs are like the weather. They suck equally to both teams. Again, I don't know what the refs have really missed in this game. David says we got to get TreVeyon Henderson going. Well, hopefully TreVeyon Henderson is able to get going. He limped badly off the field in that last drive. And yes, converting on 4th down. Biggs Mikes, well, it could go down to the wire, but the last 2 years, I believe Michigan was up 14-13 at half 2 years ago, I believe, and Ohio State was up 20-17 at the half last year. So, yes, Mike, definitely crucial plays. I totally agree with you. Badass Buckeye, of course, calling that not a touchdown. Yeah, score should be 49-0 Michigan. Yeah, it's been a very even game. If we check out the halftime stats, again, I've got to think Ohio State has a fairly significant lead. It is 193. Oh, yeah, to 119 total offense. McCord, 12 of 19. They said 13 of 19 on the broadcast for 156, a touchdown and a pick. The pick was huge. That's a touchdown for Michigan, 1 of 2. Travion Henderson, only 19 yards on 8 carries. Chip, 3 for 14. Marvin Harrison, 2 big catches. Kate Stover, that dot that McCord hit Stover on after they went down 14-3. That was, if Ohio State's going to come back and win this game, that is one of the key plays because I think that got McCord rolling. Again, both rush defenses. What is Ohio State doing in rushing defensively? Yeah, they've held Blake Corum to 9 carries for 19 yards. Donovan Edwards, 6 for 13. 18 carries for 34 yards for Michigan. Yeah, it's just, man, it is a hard-hitting, hard-fought football game, top to bottom. Chris says just heave it up for Marv. Just let him make plays or get pass interference calls. We've got Fire Bat here. Appreciate you being here, man. Do you think Ryan Day is playing it safe or scared? Well, I said this before the game that I expected him to play conservatively, yes, to see if the running game was going to work at all, and then try to give him workable, easy throws to build his confidence, and then gauge after a couple drives, okay, where is he? Is he confident? Is he delivering the ball? Or is he something close to what we saw out of Drew Aller against Michigan and against Ohio State, those games where it's like, okay, well, we got to scrap our game plan and we got to play ultra conservative and lean on the defense. Well, McCord wasn't at the point of Aller, but he certainly wasn't playing great. And so I think Ryan Day, I think there have been too many first down off tackle run, second down off tackle run, and then it's 3rd and 7. I think that's happened way too much. Where, again, it's always easy to second guess a play call, not the specific play call, but whether it's a run or a pass, because if it's first down, you miss on the pass, you got 2nd and 10, you're behind the chains, up, should have run, got 3 or 4 yards to get ourselves in a better position. But you got to break tendencies. You have to take calculated risks. You have to throw on every down, not just on 2nd and long and 3rd and long, or run. I'd like to know how many times they went run, pass, as they did down near the goal line. Thank goodness that for Ohio State, at least, even though they didn't get points out of it, that Julian Fleming caught that ball by the sideline. Otherwise, I know they didn't get points, but they went 64 yards and killed the rest of the 3.5 minutes. Otherwise, they're punting to Michigan on their own 3. So backed up in the end zone, they're punting, and Michigan's probably setting up at the Ohio State 40 with 3 minutes left in the first half. So Ryan Day put Kyle McCord in a bad spot there. He basically gave him a 3rd and 9. by running the ball twice coming out of the end zone. Now, do you take a chance by allowing your young quarterback, but he's been in the system now for 3 years, you got to let him throw the ball even when you're backed up in your own end. You are not running the ball against Michigan's front for a first down sitting at your own 3-yard line. Ron, you're right on the money. Gift wrapped 7 points. And yeah, he's not able to sift through his progressions quick enough, fast enough, doesn't process them fast enough for especially facing a team like Michigan's pass rush. Vin Rudy, Ohio State has done well limiting JJ. Let's see if they can be a good second half team. Well, man, JJ's thrown maybe 2 or 3 balls that got away from him. But other than that, man, when he needs to deliver on a throw, boy, he can throw a dot. Yeah, Darkwing, I got to say, we talked about that so much this week that if you're going to compare Kyle McCord and J.J. McCarthy, which J.J.'s a better quarterback at this point, certainly that the one big advantage is, especially when you know the other team's got an elite pass rush.
That is definitely him.
Dude, that's Jessica taking a little break with a peppermint frost.
On a 3rd and
I gotta
6.
ask him. Hello.
Where he didn't get
Mind if
the
I
first
sit?
down after the replay.
And now get 20% off in the
reviewed
Wendy's
the
app
spot
when you
and brought it
include a
back, but
Frosty.
still he got close enough. He got to a 4th and inches because of his speed. And again, he made that play to Roman Wilson because of his escapability, his speed. He's outrunning NFL defensive players.
What a catch there to make Jordan Moore. Unbelievable adjustment. Great route. Just being able to have a great feel. But
Ben Rudy says both teams are under 40 yards rushing, well under 40 yards rushing. Whoever gets the run game going will win. I don't know if either team's going to get the run game going. Maybe it's more like who's going to get a run or two, whether that's at a key time, meaning even I'm talking about 2nd and goal at the 9 and gets a 9-yard touchdown run, or gets a 30 or 40-yard run. Just 1 or 2 at the most. Unless Donovan Edwards comes back from last season and makes it happen like he did this past season, but he was facing a much different
in the hours leading up to kickoff.
Ohio State defense, somewhat from a personnel standpoint, but mostly from a scheme standpoint.
All the work that you
that
put
doesn't
in for
look
both
like
these
it's
teams.
going
Michigan
to
has the upper hand because of what's happened the last 2 years, the
give
mindset
that
of the
up.
game. Before that, it was
Both
Ohio
tight
State. They
ends,
were on a great
not
run.
letting us
But I
know.
think this is the key.
Stover's
I
a
think,
big problem.
J.J. McCarthy, I
Colton
don't care
Loveland,
about with the last
his
2
stats
weeks. They
aren't
didn't throw
huge
the
right
ball
now,
against
but
Penn State.
he's a
Didn't
big
look great
problem
against
too.
Maryland. He
He
is
had a
a difference
16-yarder,
maker because of
had a
his
7-yarder.
experience. He can
I would
create
go
with his
more
legs,
to
which I think
Colton
could be a
Loveland
big
if I
part of
was
this game today for Michigan.
thrown more.
Everybody wants to talk about
He would be a
their
bigger part
ability
of
to
the
run the
game plan.
football, and it's the most unique running game in the country
All there
because
is
they
to
come
it.
at
He
you in
would
so
be a
many different
bigger
ways
part
with
of this game
formations,
plan.
personnel groupings. They run power, they run counter, jet sweep, and then they boot and naked off of it. So it
Yes,
puts a
JJ.
lot on any kind of
The team with the
defense.
most
And
rushing
remember
yards
last year,
usually wins the
Ohio
game.
State gave
More
up
like the
so
team with the
many
most rushing yards
explosives in
always
this
wins
game.
the game. I
Jim
believe
Knowles, the defensive coordinator from Ohio State,
22
changed his
consecutive
entire
years.
scheme based on that game
So,
and the Georgia game.
well,
Now,
that's
here we are a year
very much
later.
in
It's
doubt.
looked great up to
At,
this point.
37
game.
Ohio State,
This is the
34
day you find
Michigan,
out if that
and
defense is in
Michigan gets
fact
the ball
improved.
first.
Felton Gardner on the field for his first play of the day. Kansas transfer grabs it. He's got some jets. Tumbling down
In
to the
past
21.
years, you would have thought it's more imperative for Michigan to get the running game going, not Ohio State, because they can rely on Justin Fields, Dwayne Haskins, CJ Stroud. It's imperative that Michigan, that's who they are. But in this
because no two
game,
people sleep the same.
it's
Only
slightly
Sleep Number
more
smart beds let you
imperative that
each
Ohio
choose your
State
individual
gets a
firmness
little
and
bit of
comfort. Your
push,
Sleep Number
gets a
settings.
creep,
It's so
gets a
smart.
steam,
It actively
hits on a
cools and
couple
warms
running
up to
plays,
13 degrees
more
on
so
either
than
side
Michigan.
for your ideal
Because
sleep
Michigan,
temperature.
JJ McCarthy,
An
he can
effortlessly
win this game
responds
with
to
his
both of
arm
you.
and
Your
his
best sleep,
legs.
night
All right,
after
they're
night.
back on the field.
And now
Appreciate
save
you being
50%
here.
on
Thank
the
you so
Sleep
much
Number
for the
limited
super
edition
chat. Sorry
smart
that I
bed, plus
missed
free home
them.
delivery when you
Did
add
get
an
that
adjustable
one
base and
from
Cyber
Fire
Monday.
Bath. Then we've
Shop
got
for a limited
our
time
guy,
and sleep next level. Only at Sleep
Priam
Number.
Sports. Mark, you got the
Stocked up
broadcast
and ready to
running
go
in the background. Going to get a copyright. Got a broadcast running in the
Important game
background.
for the mids.
Um,
And how about this run?
Don't know what you're talking
Braxton
about there,
Woodson
but hey, they're
along
kicking
the
off.
far side,
Thank
and
you
he's
for
got
that.
an
I
enemy
appreciate it.
touchdown.
We will see you after the ball game right here.
By Alex Teska of getting out front and throwing the block. Big number 46. Little chip and another block down the field to spring the quarterback. That is a plus.
Let's go. Ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life.
Seriously?
Toyota, let's go places.
McCaffrey slot top of the screen, but the other way. This one is intercepted. Day